Hello folks, this is Wager Detective here, May 15th, 2026. Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Wager Detective audio report, going up every day now on YouTube, and follow Wager Detective on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Set alerts on Twitter and subscribe on YouTube and comment on all those platforms if you like Wager Detective's work. If you've been following the Wager Detective report, guys, go through it. Follow it on Twitter. It's time-stamped. Follow it on YouTube. It's been doing really, really good. The calls have been great, and we're going to get into this cap right now and see if we can't keep that ball rolling. Again, Phillies taking on the Pirates. Phillies getting done beating the Boston Red Sox 2 out of 3 in Boston, and now they're going to be on no days rest heading into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh playing pretty good baseball as well, and we're going to see what they've been doing in their last 9 as we dig into this cap. Let's get into the Phillies and Pirates head-to-head. Last 11 games, the Phillies are 5-6, the last 11 versus the Pirates, 4 over, 7 under, 3.83 runs per game to 3.54, comes out to 7.35 runs per game over the last 11 meetings between the Phillies and the Pirates. If we look at the Phillies at the Pirates, they're 2-8. The Phillies are 2-8 in their last 10 at the Pirates, 5 over, 5 under that 8. The Phillies are scoring 3.4 runs per game to 4.4 runs per game for the Pirates. That comes out to 7.8 runs per game in the last 10 at Pittsburgh. So the Phillies 5-6 last 11 meetings versus the Pirates, and 2-8 last 10 at Pittsburgh. The Phillies road night games this year, they are 7-6, 5 over. The Phillies are 7-6 in road night games this year, 5 over, 7 under, 1 push to that number 8 that's set tonight. Phillies scoring 3 runs a game to 3.84 for their opponents. They got swept by the Cubs in one of these night series in this split where they were at the Cubs all night games. They got swept by the Cubs, and they were 2-1 at Boston in this previous series, as we mentioned. The Phillies have been held in 13 night games on the road this year to 2 runs or less 6 times. So let's keep that in mind as the cap goes along here. Last night overall, the Phillies are looking good. 6-3, 5 over, 4 under, and 1 push. The last 4 games for the Phillies have gone under that 8 that is set tonight by the books. The last 9 games for the Phillies overall, they're scoring 4.88 runs per game to 3.66 for their opponents. That comes out to an 8.54 runs per game in Phillies games over their last 9. Now, every cap is going to have a situational split in it, and this report is going to be like no other. You're going to have every report for Wager Detective is going to have a split in it, situational split. And this one's going to be road series to road series with no rest for the Phillies. And the Phillies are 5-4 in their last 9 road series to road series. That first game when they hit the new town in that series, they're 5-4 in their last 9. 4 over, 3 under, 2 push in those games. The Phillies averaging 5.22 runs per game to 3.33 for their opponents. That comes out to 8.55 runs per game. The Phillies, last 5 with Nola on the mound. Nola is going to be taking the bump tonight for the Phillies. In the last 5 outings for the Phillies with Nola on the mound, the Phillies are 2-3. 2 over, 2 under, and 1 push to that number 8. And the Phillies are scoring 3.4 runs per game to 4.8 for their opponents in Nola's last 5 outings. That comes out to 8.2 runs per game over those last 5. In the last 5 for Nola, he has 24.2 innings pitched, 32 hits, 17 earned runs, 11 bases on ball, 25 Ks, and he's given up 5 home runs in his last 5 outings. That comes out to a 6.21 ERA, 1.74 WHIP, and he's striking out one batter. He's getting a strikeout every 4.5 batters. He has 4.11 pitches per batter faced. He's faced 113 batters in his last 5 outings, and he's striking out 1 out of every 4.5 in those outings. The Phillies are 3-2 last 5. Nola starts first. The Pirates 4 over, 1 under. That number 8. So as you see here, the case is kind of building for an over in this game. In Nola's has given up 7 home runs and 42 innings pitched on the year, and the Phillies are 3-5 in Nola's starts all overall this year. When Nola starts, the Phillies are 3-5. Now, Let's head over to the and the Phillies this year, 21-23 record, 7-3 in their last 10, 5-4 in their last 9. They're 9-4 in one-run games, but they are 1-6 versus the National League Central. So that's something to keep in mind there. If I was looking at the cap right now, I would be saying that this game is leaning towards an over, and possibly we'll see how this cap goes for the rest of this cap. Now, the Pirates here, they're 24-20 on the year. They're 20-13 versus right-handed pitching. They're 6-6 in one-run games, and they're 3-4 against the National League East. Okay, the Pirates are 6-6 in home night games this year. 6 over, 5 under, 1 push. They're scoring 5.25 runs per game, and their opponents are scoring 4.08 for a 9.33 runs per game average in all Pirates home games this year. They've scored 63 runs to their opponents' 49. And as we did say, the Phillies are 7-6 in road night games this year, but they're only scoring 3 runs per game to 3.84 for their opponents, whereas the Pirates 6-6 in home night games, but they're scoring 5.25 runs per game and only giving up 4.08. So there's a little bit of an edge there in what the Pirates are doing in home night games to what the Phillies are doing in road night games this year. Let's get on to what the Pirates are doing last 9 overall. They are 5-4 in their last 9 overall, 5 over, 4 under in those games. And they're scoring 4.44 runs per game to 4.33 for their opponents. That comes out to 8.77 runs per game in the last 9 Pirates games overall. The Pirates in this split have scored 4+ runs 5 times, and they've held opponents to 3+ runs 5 times in their last 9 games. Now, home-to-home series with no rest for the Pirates. They're 7-2 in their last home-to-home series with no rest. So they finish up a series, and then that next game at home, opening a new series, they're 7-2 in their last 9 in that split. 3 over, 6 under, 8 runs. Okay, so in those last 9 home series to home series openers for the Pirates, they are scoring 5.33 runs per game, but they're only giving up 2.11 runs per game for their opponents. That comes out to a 7.44 runs per game average. And in those games, the 5.33 to 2.11, the Pirates are plus 3.21 runs per game average in those last 9 home series to series games. So the Pirates also have held opponents to 1 run or less 5 times in their last 9 home-to-home series openers. So that's something to keep an eye on there in this game. And as we said, Phillies in Nola's 5 outings this year, last 5 outings, they were only giving them 3.4 run support in those games. So something to think about. The Pirates are 3-2 last 5 Ashcroft outings. Braxton Ashcroft's going to be on the mound for the Pirates. The Pirates are 3-2 in his last 5 outings. 4 over, 1 under, 8. The Pirates are scoring 7.2 runs per game to 5.2 runs per game for their opponents in Braxton Ashcroft's last 5 outings. In Ashcroft's last 5 outings, he's thrown for 31.2 innings pitched, 25 hits, 11 earned runs, 31 strikeouts, 4 home runs in those games. Now, if we want to do the math on that, which by all means we can do, we'll do that right now. We'll take a look at the math and show you how Wager Detective comes up with those numbers to keep you more informed as a sports bettor. So in 31 innings pitched, 31.2, he's given up 11 earned runs. So let's do the math there. 11, we want to find the ERA. 11 times 9, that's 9 innings in a baseball game. He's given up 11 runs, divided by 31.6, that's 31.2 innings pitched. And we know that Ashcroft has a 3.13 ERA in his last 5 outings. And we said that Nola has a 6.21 ERA in his last 5 outings. So furthermore, leaning towards the Pirates through this whole cap. Again, home-to-home series, 7-2 for the Pirates. Phillies not bad, 5-4, but they're scoring just as many runs as the Pirates are in that split, but they're giving up way less than what the Phillies are in that particular split of home-to-home series and road-to-road series for the Phillies. So, So there's the ERA for Ashcraft over his last 5 outings, and then we can look at his WHIP here. He's given up 25 hits and 25 hits here. Do we get the walks? Okay, Wager Detective didn't get the walks here, but that's fine. But 3.13 ERA. I'll get better at this as I go. I thought I had this down, how many walks he had. Okay, in his last 3 game starts on 5 days rest for Ashcroft, the Pirates are 2-1, and he's going to be on 5 days rest in this game. In those games, he has 18 innings pitched, 18.1 innings pitched, given up 16 hits, 9 earned runs, 3 home runs, 5 walks, and he has 18 Ks. So we can also do the math on that if we want. Take a look here. So Ashcraft, last 3 games on 5 days rest, he's given up 9 runs, so 9 times 9 is 81. We'll divide that by 18.3. And Ashcraft, the ERA goes up a little bit more from that 3.13 in his last 5 outings to 4.42 earned run average on 5 days rest this year. Has a 4.42 ERA. Now we can find the WHIP here. He's given up 16 hits and 5 walks on 5 days rest this year. So 21, 16 plus 5. WHIP is walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. And we'll divide that by the 18.3. He's only got a 1.14 WHIP in his last 3 games this year on 5 days rest. So not bad. The ERA's higher, right? The ERA's higher. We're going to get into FIP at a later time, but I'm going to keep this video kind of short, but that'll tie into the FIP, FIP, and we'll get into that at a later time. But again, his ERA might be 4.42, but his WHIP is bad. That could be because he's giving up home runs at the wrong time. He has given up 3 home runs this year on 5 days rest in 3 games. So if we want to do the math there, 3 home runs times 9 innings in a game, that's 27 divided by the 18.3. He has given up almost 1.5 home runs per game, and he has 32 fly balls this year in 18 innings pitched. So the high ball rate is elevated, and that's not really a good sign going against this Phillies lineup, which could lead this game to being an over. I mean, I think the game set at only 8 is a little disturbing. The Phillies have shown in the series on the road that they can put up 5.22 runs per game over their last 9. And then we know that we said the Pirates in their last 9 home series to home series with no rest, that first game they're putting up 5.33 runs per game. And Nola is not a guy that you can really say is going to hold guys down. And the Pirates have been hitting the ball pretty well this year. So we're going to make a call on this cap right now. I'm going to call all the metrics to me kind of lean towards to the Pirates, and I'll tell you why. I'll highlight this whole cap in a nutshell after I ran down all those stats. The Phillies 1-6 against the National League Central this year. Okay, they're 5-4 in their last 9 road-to-road series with no rest. 5.22 runs a game. That's good. But Nola, the Phillies are 2-3 in Nola's last 5 outings, and Nola a 6.21 ERA over his last 5 outings, and the Phillies are 2-8 in their last 10 at Pittsburgh, right? That's the Philly side of it for me liking Pittsburgh. And then when you get to Pittsburgh, they're pretty good. Like I said, 20-13 against right-handed pitching. What else do we have here? 7-2 in home-to-home series with no rest in that first game, scoring 5.33 runs a game and only giving up 2.11 in that split. 3-2 against with Ashcroft on the mound. The Pirates are in the last 5 outings. Not really that good, but they do hit for him. Another indication. They're scoring 7.2 runs per game in Ashcroft's last 5 outings, but they are giving up 5.2. So I don't know whether to call the over the stronger play or the Pirates. Let's take a look real quick as we close up this cap. I'm getting better. It's only 14 minutes that we're at right now. We'll get to a point where that'll be about a 10-minute cap once I format it correctly. Let's see if we can find what the line is. This phone, man, I'll tell you. Oh, we don't even need to look at this. We already know, because I wrote this down before the cap, the Pirates were minus 134 when I started the cap, and then the Phillies were plus 116. The over was set at 8, minus 115 to the over, and then the under was minus 105. So we can see if any of those numbers moved recently. Should be interesting to see if that line is moving a certain direction. I started this cap about, I want to say maybe an hour ago. So the numbers could have moved in that time, a little bit over an hour ago, about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. Phone moving very, very slow here at the book for whatever reason. I don't know why it does, but it does. But Wager Detective is going to call. Wager Detective is going to make the call here. He's going to call the Pirates. I'm giving you another chalk play. I don't like giving a chalk play. I like the fact that the Phillies minus 134 will garner people that try to take the Phillies as a classic road dog here. But all the metrics are lining up for the Pirates to win this game. And I do lean the over, but I would mix them up this way. This is how I would do it. I would take the Pirates on the money line. I would take the Pirates minus 1.5 on a separate ticket, and I would take the over 8. Split all 3 tickets up and hope that you hit 2 out of the 3. I would imagine minus 1.5, you're going to get plus money on a minus 134 opening money line. But so that's Wager Detective's call here. The Pirates minus 134 to beat the Philadelphia Phillies. They're playing great baseball. Over 8 at minus 115 on FanDuel, and also the Pirates minus 1.5. Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Be sure to be on the lookout for the YouTube audio version of the Wager Detective Report going up daily. And also subscribe and follow on Twitter and set alerts on Twitter. And more than anything else in the world, guys, Wager Detective loves all his fans. I'm going to talk to you soon.